So, Jennifer, how's it going?
Hi, I'm Jen Silverston. I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here with my good friend Tami. Thanks so much for having me here today.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so excited to have you here. I do want a little bit of an introduction. I know you experienced a severe spinal injury when you were only 22 years old, which is totally incredible. You had 7 years of a healing journey through Western medicine, and then you got introduced to the traditional Chinese martial arts. And your Western practitioners were just amazed and curious about what happened because they've probably never seen anyone that went through that type of a journey that came out so incredibly well.
Yeah, I had a long, I'm still on the journey. I think the healing journey never ends when you have a serious trauma like that. But I was 7 years in when I got introduced to this Chinese Kung Fu master who was here as a Fulbright scholar in Michigan. And I still couldn't really work at that time. I was in constant physical pain. I wore a back brace. I couldn't drive myself. I mean, I was a mess. And I was 7 years into my healing, post injury, which usually at that far along, you might not actually get any more better than that. And I was still only like 29 years old, and I was really searching and searching. I would try everything to help myself feel better. Um, and so I went to this free workshop that Master Han gave, and he showed us like three moves, and I was like, oh my God, like I can do these. Like there's so much I couldn't do that to find something I could do was really exciting. And the even more exciting was it made me feel a little better, which was like mind boggling because here I'd been in physical therapy of all different kinds for 7 years. And usually physical therapy made me feel a little bit worse. The long run is that it helps you get better, but it's hard while you're doing it. And so the fact that it made me feel a little bit better just made me like thirsty for more. I was just so fascinated and curious, like how could these really simple, you know, playful exercises make me feel better? And so I enrolled in the university so I could be in his classes. And within like a month or maybe 6 weeks, I had three physical therapists at that time. And each one individually said to me on different occasions, are you doing something different? Because things are working better. And I said each time, I said, oh, I'm doing like traditional Chinese martial arts like Tai Chi or Qigong. And they all said, oh, we've read about that. We've read about that in the literature and it's supposed to be really good for healing. And I was like, well, why didn't ever anybody tell me that? Like I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
10 years in here, like throw me a bone. And so they all said, keep doing it. So I kept doing it and I kept getting better and I kept getting better faster. And, to have something like that in your toolkit, I mean, we all have bumps in the road. Sometimes they're major and sometimes they're minor. But if you can have tools in your toolkit that will help you sort of even out those bumps, sort of smooth through the ups and downs, it's a really empowering sort of thing. It's like, I think Tai Chi and Qigong are really for like the do-it-yourself crowd, like
Yeah.
you really, the practices become your own and it's like a medicine that you get to take whenever you need it. So I like to say, like, I have a Qigong master living in my back. And he's always like, Jennifer, you must practice. Because,
Oh my gosh, you're so full of positivity and the light. I mean, you're just amazing that you just
thank you.
always look for everything that's good. That's what I really, really love about you.
Thank you. Well, that's cultivated too. You go through like a long year after year after year of like really intense physical pain, and you look for anything you can. So I do, I do everything. I'm like the essential oils and the flowers and the soft music and the gratitudes and like whatever I can do to help myself feel better, I do it. So the gratitudes and positive attitude is definitely a big cultivate.
Oh, that is so awesome, because so many people just give up and think that they're just doomed to a life of pain. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I think maybe because I was so young when I had my injury. I mean, I was 22. I was just my first job out of college. It was completely, life just took like a rapid left turn,
Oh,
Like,
I know. Didn't I read
so,
that you were actually in marine biology?
yeah, I have a degree in marine biology. I was a fisheries biologist on an endangered species project, which was like my dream job. And it was just an accident. I was in a stupid work accident, and you can't take it back.
Oh
And
my goodness. Yeah, it is amazing how your life can change on a dime for
yeah,
sure. Your whole journey completely changed, like a different path,
yeah, totally.
different way to go. But I love the way that you always look for the shining light in everything. You look for the positive, and
Thank
you
you.
know, you make the best of it for sure. So over the past 12 years, you've taught at Northern University, Michigan, or Northern Michigan University. You've taught internationally. Um, you've co-led over 35 retreats
Mm-hmm.
that I'm looking at my notes, to help train over 100 other mind-body teachers, which is just amazing. You've also worked with cancer recovery programs and terminally ill folks. And you wouldn't think that something like this would help, but it really does.
Yeah, it was, I started when I was in those classes with Master Han back in 2009. I was just fascinated. Like I was just obsessed. And I was always like inviting my friends. I was like, hey Cora, like you want to go to the park and do some Qigong? And Cora eventually was like, Jen, you should probably just teach this. Like you're really good at it. And I've always been into sharing it. So then I went through this like teacher training program in 2008 and 2009. And this assisted living place in my town called me and they said, we hear you teach Qigong. Would you come teach it to our residents? And I was like, it was literally my first like official teaching gig was at
Oh, that's awesome. Assisted living. That is fabulous. Yeah.
these ladies. I mean, they were like in their 80s and 90s in wheelchairs. And I'm very sensitive. Like I can sense people's feelings, like I can sense what's around me kind of things. And I was just like, oh my God, like I've been through a teacher training program, but not for people in their 90s, like I was just like, how are they doing? Are they tired? Do they need to rest? And I just led them through these sitting exercises mostly. And they loved it. I
Yeah.
teaching there for 9 years. They loved it so much. And so that introduction with people that were so old, at the ends of their life journey, and being able to work with them and teach them these exercises and see the amount of relief that it gave them, I was like, wow, if it works on these guys, like it's gonna work on anybody. And then I got the opportunity to teach at the university. So that was 5 years of teaching undergraduates about the stress reduction benefits, because most undergraduates would come to the Tai Chi class either because they saw it in a movie and they thought it looked cool, or that they were really stressed out and they needed to find some way to like help themselves. So I've taught like the whole range of people over the years. I've been
Yeah.
teaching for 12 years, and I go where people have needed me throughout that time. But
Right.
really nowadays, I really focus on people that are injured or ill and have been through Western medicine and are still looking for more. Because that was my story, and I really resonate. I know that journey so well. that I feel like I help those people the best. I think I help a lot of people in a lot of different ways, but my sort of, soft spot is for those of us who get injured and you work so hard through years of physical therapy and you still can't do like the things in life that you want to do. Those are the people I love working with, because just like it did for me, the Tai Chi will help you accelerate and heal faster. So many people have worked with me, they've been through physical therapy, and they'll say, my balance is way better than it ever was in physical therapy.
Exactly. Yeah,
I never
balance is a
thought
big thing.
I never
Yeah.
thought I would be like this again, it's like
Yeah.
so rewarding.
Well, I like it that you also brought up stress, because as a functional nutritionist, stress is one of the big things that I run into, that when people are too stressed, they don't digest properly and they don't absorb the nutrients, and everything is connected, and stress is a big block to a lot of healing.
Definitely. They found in research studies that stress aggravates 80% of the ailments that we see in our population. So whether you have, a back injury like I did, or if you have, heart disease or kidney disease, whatever it is that you have, like the stress only amplifies the illness. And that's one aspect of the illness that we can control. So that's awesome that you're working on that, Tami, because it's a huge, huge deal.
Huge, huge deal. So now that I brought that up, I have to ask you what kind of diet you eat. Do you have a specific thing, or you eat anything you want?
Well, I met a lovely lady named Shirley a couple of years ago, and she had this term that still resonates with me today, that she was a flexitarian.
I love that.
And I love that term. I love the idea of a flexitarian. And with that being said, there are things that don't agree with me. Coffee being one of them. And like, you have these relationships for years with different foods. And you're like, I kind of think you're not good for me, but I like you, So you go
Exactly.
like back and forth with the food. And actually, for earlier this year, I made this commitment to myself that I was going to avoid all the foods that I know are bad for me. And it was really hard to do. And I gave myself some substitutes, like instead of eating chocolate, you can have cheese, or like whatever. But I do follow certain things that are good for me.
That's
So
awesome that you're in tune with what that is. Yeah.
specific.
Yeah. And things change too over time. So, but coffee's a bummer, but I love that. Flexitarian. That's awesome. And as long as you're feeling good and you're relaxed, people can eat just about anything, is what I found.
Yeah. And like you said, things change over time. That's so true.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think you asked me the question earlier, what do I eat for breakfast? I
Yeah.
actually got into intermittent fasting last
Okay.
year in May. And I'm a pretty big fan because it keeps my energy real stable throughout the day. And so I actually just drink tea in, non-caffeinated tea all day.
Bummer.
Yeah, I got a really weird list of things I'm sensitive to. So I drink non-caffeinated tea all morning, and then around noon, I like to have like a miso soup broth. I love the like warm foods, warm liquids, and then I like to eat stir fries a lot because I get lots of vegetables in that way. And yeah, my
Yeah.
boyfriend is really fantastic. He makes what he calls these fruit boxes. And so he puts in like different fruits and different vegetables all cut up into like little bite-sized, chunks. It's super delicious. And then he puts olives on top, so they're like bait for me to go into the into the vegetables and the fruits. So those
Oh
are
my
sort of,
gosh. Yeah, your boyfriend sounds amazing.
he is pretty amazing. He is.
Awesome.
So,
You guys do a lot together. That's really fun.
mm-hmm.
for sure. So I really like the way that you are able to, actually feel where people are on their journey, and you know how to start working with them. And the way technology is now, you're able to work with people from anywhere in the world. So no matter
Yeah,
where they are. So that's pretty cool.
it is. It's amazing. Well, I mean, Tami and I have studied with the same teacher, Marie Diamond, in meditation and enlightenment practices. And she's always been through the internet for me, like she lives in the south of France. And so I think I started studying with her in 2011.
Mm.
And so I've always had this connection, with a teacher very far away, but still feeling like that sense of togetherness with her. And so practicing with her through all these years, I think has really given me the skill to connect at a distance. And yeah, we have this video technology now today that it's just like, hi, I'm right here with you, give me a high five, So I
Well,
work,
yeah. I mean, we've never met in person, but I feel like we're friends. That,
yeah, totally.
I can call you anytime, and yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait for the time when we're on a special like retreat or something together. I think
I know we actually get to actually touch each other as long as we're out of this social distancing thing, but I'm just going to ignore that anyway.
totally.
Oh my gosh, it's politically incorrect now to say that, but hey, just going to go with it. So I just love how you have your studio right there behind you. Do you want to show us a couple easy things that we could do? And
Oh, sure.
if I stand up at my desk, it's going to cut off my head, but I
Sure.
might try something anyway.
Let's do something sitting then maybe.
Okay,
Because
sure.
um pretty easy. These practices are real flexible.
Okay.
Like I said, my whole first teaching gig was all sitting down. So
I know, and I know at that age, people can have extreme pain, and
yeah,
building up their muscles and flexibility is just crucial to a,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Start with a little warm up, a little alignment. So in Tai Chi, they like to compare the human to a tree, as if you're rooting into the earth with your legs, and as if your head is like being lifted up into the sky, like your your leaves are reaching for the sky. So really aligning yourself between the earth and the sky and taking a breath. And then we're going to rub our hands together. And we're going to inhale and open the hands just a little bit. And then exhale and push them back together, leaving a little space. That's good. And again, inhale and exhale. And now we're going to roll like we're rolling a little cookie ball between the hands. Just getting the hands nice and connected. And again, let's inhale and we'll open. And we'll exhale and push back together. One more time, we'll open and together. Now we're going to reach our hands down. We're going to tip them down to the earth. And we're going to imagine like we're scooping up water. So reaching forward like you're scooping up water. And then imagine like you're splashing it down the whole body. Like you're washing your whole body in fresh, sparkling, clean water. Let's do that again. So we're reaching down, just breathing naturally, and imagine that water refreshing your whole person. Let's do one more. Reaching forward, smoothing down the body. Good. We'll come back to that
Oh my
center.
gosh.
let's let's finish. Sounds like you enjoyed it already. Let's just take a breath. Relax with your eyes closed. And let's rub the hands together. Recall the heat to the hands, the energy to the hands. And now wherever you need a little extra attention, lay your hands on that part of the body, wherever it is. Could be your knee or your back or your eyes. And just think nice thoughts to that part. Smile into that part. And then we'll rub some circles in that area, wherever it is. And then we'll shake out our hands and shake out our whole body a little bit. Thank you for joining me in that.
Yes, that was awesome. I already feel relaxed.
That's so cool. So that's actually the very first movement that mystified me. It absolutely
Really?
mystified me, that how could I reach my hands down, lift them up, smooth them down my body like that, and feel a profound difference. Like, what is happening in that?
Exactly. I could feel the tingling. I mean, like there was actually water being raining on me. It was awesome. Yeah.
So this is one of the very, very oldest Qigong or Tai Chi practices, actually. They have silk paintings dating back thousands of years where they're displaying people doing this exercise.
Really?
And they often call it organ washing, like you're washing your organs, or they call it marrow washing, like you're washing the marrow of your bones. And the whole idea is this gathering and storing qi. So there you have it, your very first move.
That is amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. When I first learned this, I was a massage therapist at the time, and I was just so fascinated with this one move, this gathering and scooping, that I would go in the bathroom in between massage clients, and I would do this exercise, and I would kind of like refresh myself. I would feel like sparkly and happy, and then I'd go on to my next client.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sparkly and happy.
Right. I just share it as like an example of like, you can take your Tai Chi with you. You can do it in the bathroom somewhere to like make yourself more full of life. Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Yeah. So people, thank you for sharing that, because it's sometimes people think they have to dress up and go somewhere and do a specific whole routine, but just that one exercise, I already feel different. I can already feel the sparkly.
Yay. I'm so excited for you to be in my class now for Thursday.
I know. I'm so excited about that. So you're teaching a class on Thursday mornings. Do you want to invite people on how to get in touch with you, or how to reach out?
Yeah, you can just reach out to me. I think probably my name will be on this link, right, in this video.
So if anyone comments below, we can I can send you the link to Jennifer's group, and you can find out more about how to get in touch with her. And
yeah, you can just reach out to me. Yeah, it's an hour-long class every Thursday morning. It's kind of for beginners, but it's also an ongoing class that's been going on for a long time. So I kind of handhold beginners on the side. Like I'll send you a couple extra videos, you know, to study and practice, so that you can feel more secure in the group class. Most of it is going to be really easy to follow, like what we just did. But then there are Tai Chi sequences that we work on as a group that, you know, they take some time to put together. Tai Chi isn't like it wasn't like a one-time thing. You know, it works best when you repeat it again and again. So that's why I offer this weekly class on Thursdays. It's at 10 a.m. on Eastern time. And I also do private lessons for people that, you know, that, like I mentioned earlier, that they have these sort of like long-term injuries that they're really wanting to resolve. So I love working with people one-on-one to really help them see a lot of progress, where I can cater things right to their needs and grow it up slowly right from where they need it. That
Yeah,
special.
and you're excellent at that too, for sure. So yeah, if you would like information on Jennifer's group, or I also have a new group on, if you just like this post or comment, we'll send you the information on that, to how to reach out to either one of us. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, is there anything else that you want to say?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me be a part of your Vitality group, because I think that these are the things that we have the power to control, you know,
Exactly.
like, and I think especially as women, to take that empowerment and to make that time for ourselves. Like mine was sort of like a critical situation where I like had to make time for ourselves, but I know how hard it is in the day to day to be like, no, I'm going to sit down and meditate here, or I'm going to sit down and do my breathing exercise. I recognize how hard that is. And I really encourage people to use the problem as the driver. Like when you're experiencing the problem in your life, like, I don't feel good, whatever that looks like, to be like, I don't feel good, so I'm going to take action here, you know, and to really be empowered to know that you can get better. You can help yourself feel better. I know Tami has been through an incredible health journey that she's sharing with us in this Vitality group. And I just want to encourage you all to like keep going. Know that you can get better. That's what.
Oh, thank you so much. You're such an incredible encouragement person. So positive.
Yeah, well, I lived
Uh,
it. I know it.
yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
it so many times.
Okay. Tai Chi with Jennifer, and movement is medicine. Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping us feel sparkly and happy. I
You're
love
so
it.
welcome, Tammy. You're
Thank
so
you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.